Well, now the GOP is trying to use Facebook to claim that they're being, quote unquote, discriminated against and restricted. Okay, obviously there are more people that are pro the social network and pro social issues than against the major social issues. Anyway, here's Fox being disingenuous, and I want to point something out to you guys as soon as this broad says it. So hang on.
There are rigorous guidelines in place for the review team to ensure consistency and neutrality. These guidelines do not permit the suppression of political perspectives, nor do they permit the prioritization of one viewpoint over another or one news outlet over another. Once again, Martha, you might remember, well, you may know that recently came out 222 million active Facebook users just in Canada and the U.S. So obviously with the presidential election coming up, a lot of people have concerns about this report.
Yeah, and I assume that that leads to the hashtag and the online fight back.
Yeah, you know, what's interesting is that's the way it goes these days. Now, the hashtag is actually make this trend. That's the hashtag that the RNC's come out with. They put up tweets as well. Reince Priebus came out with Facebook must answer for conservative censorship. He tweeted that. So basically, it's turned this whole thing into an online hashtag battle. And the RNC has released a statement as well. It says, in part, fighting back, that, quote, it's beyond disturbing to learn that this power is being used to silence viewpoints and stories that don't fit someone else's agenda. Censorship in any form should give Americans who value their fundamental freedoms great pause. So as you can see, this is still playing out. Interestingly enough, as I mentioned, Martha, it's trending on Facebook right now. It has a lot of people upset. And if you watch any of the online sites that you go to, you'll see today this story is all over the place. And it has actually some support from both sides of the political aisle concerned that there may be a true case of a situation where people are controlling the messages we see.
That's
Martha?
good. I mean, everybody has to be held accountable. If you're putting out information, you're putting out news, you have to be telling both sides of the story.
Now, that is a load of bullshit. Fox never puts out both sides of a story. Fox, if there's any news, quote unquote, organization in the country that is biased and only gives you one slanted side of the story, it is Fox. Okay, so for Fox to get out there and say that you should be have to put out both sides of a story and that you should be held accountable, they need to listen to their own words, because they're never held accountable. They never put out both sides of a story. These guys are some of the most racist, slanted, bigoted people that you basically will see on network TV. Now, another point, the RNC is jumping up and down about their information, etc., stories being restricted. Well, I can tell you that black people that post on YouTube more than anyone else get their stories, their posts removed, their accounts suspended when they're putting their stories up. And you didn't see Fox jumping up and down about that. But then again, it's black people, so you know, Fox is going to be nowhere to be found on that particular issue. But we as black people have seen our messages restricted more so than anybody else. So now all of a sudden the RNC looks like they're, and I don't know if it's phony or not, but it looks like, you know, they are trying to get the word out that they're being discriminated against and they're being restricted. I don't really use Facebook a lot, so I can't really answer to that side of it or not, but it just seems to me funny that Fox is picking up the RNC issue where and making these claims about accountability when there really isn't any accountability as far as Fox is concerned.